Hi gang, Dr. Kineret here. Very glad to be your orthodontist. Thanks for picking us. One of the things that are very important, one of the things that is very important to me and my team is that you have a successful outcome. We want you to absolutely love your smile. So today we're going to talk about some things that you can do on your end to help make sure that we get done on time, get that great smile. And actually what we often see are the people that really follow this well, these guidelines, tend to get done 6 months early, so that's always exciting, correct? Don't follow the rules. What happens is we get off task. So we sent you home with a little checklist in your take-home folder. There's a checklist of foods and habits to avoid, so let's talk about those today. The problem with these kinds of foods and habits is when they loosen the braces, they don't actually just require re-gluing the bracket. What happens is we lose control of the teeth, and we actually oftentimes go backwards. We have to go back to smaller wires to recapture, get back in the same place. So it's usually, if we put it in a nutshell, that it's hard, sticky, chewy, sugary, and fizzy things that tend to cause things to get loose and broken. The foods that we have out here are things that we really want you to avoid. So let's talk about hard and crunchy. Here's an example, nuts. We want to stay away from that. Here's an example of something that's hard and sticky, double whammy. We want to stay away from that. Hard things like Skittles, we want to stay away from that. Sometimes we forget about the chewy things. So chewing and pulling and tugging on things like licorice can pull brackets loose. Also, people forget about beef jerky. Obviously, you don't want to be using your teeth as tools, your braces as tools to open up sunflower seeds. Jelly beans are one of those things that are kind of sticky and then hard on the outside, so not a good idea. We're going to get into later things that you can substitute for these, so don't worry, you're not going to be on bread and water. But as far as chips, we want to stay away from the hard, crunchy things like pita chips. That's a big no-no. Hard things like the outer crust of, thick crust of French bread or pizza, not a good idea. We'll go through substitutions. Problem with things like soda, carbonated beverages, the carbonation is actually carbonic acid. And acid, we know, is something that dissolves hard structures. So this can actually dissolve the glue as well as cause harm to your enamel. So we want to stay away from carbonated beverages. Habits like chewing ice, not a good idea for orthodontic treatment. You want to also stay away from habits like chewing on pens or chewing on your fingers. That can also loosen things and delay your progress. Hey, I forgot one big no-no. Please, whatever you do, stay away from popcorn. Amanda, what are you doing? No popcorn, guys, no popcorn. All right, let's talk about the positive side of things. So we realize that we don't expect you to live on bread and water while you go through braces, okay? So we spent a couple minutes talking about the things to avoid. I'm gonna give you some suggestions, things that you can do. We're gonna talk about the yes list that you can do if you follow the precautions. So we talked about not eating hard, crunchy candy, things like that. You can have soft cake, you can have pie, you can have ice cream, soft chocolate, that's all fine. Just let's stay away from the Skittles and things like that. Do promise me that you'll listen to mom, or if you're an adult, that you brush your teeth after eating those sugary treats. But those are okay. Instead of soda, let's drink more water. That's healthier anyway. Stay away from anything that has acid in it, like soda and lemons. Those are also sucking on lemons, things like that. As far as fruit and carrots and things like that, what we want you to do is you can still have them, you're not going to take a whole apple or a large piece of fruit or a vegetable and bite with the front teeth. We want to cut it in little pieces like that. Chew carefully on the back teeth. Corn on the cob, ribs, those can be very dangerous unless you take a knife and just scrape it off the cob or off the bone and then little pieces and you're fine. Nuts are only okay if you get really fine, or you can have peanut butter, things like that. Ice cream is fine, just make sure it doesn't have the hard candies or big chunky nuts in them, okay? Bagels and pretzels, thick hard pizza, the best way to handle that is to eat those things inside out. So we don't want that crust. The crust is dangerous. So you can peel off the crust, or you can open it up and eat from the inside out, or you can get thin crust pizza, things like that. So just, you know, think through that. On soda, if you just gotta have a soda, it's probably gonna be okay if you have 1 or 2 cans a week and use a straw, but and then drink some water after that. But I wouldn't really do anything more often than that, because again, the carbonic acid that makes it fizz and the sugar is just, it causes havoc as far as your braces can actually dissolve the glue, the adhesive that we put the brackets on with, and it can damage your enamel. All right, so let's talk about some habits, that how we can control that, or how to get through this safely. We talked about the foods, but a lot of you guys are in sports. That's great. You shouldn't have to interrupt your sports training. There's just a precaution that we want you to take. Mouth guards. There are different kinds of mouth guards. We can go into more detail at your visits, but the idea is you want to get not a boil and soak mouth guard that fits real tightly to your braces, because that will resist the movements that we're trying to accomplish and can actually loosen things. So there is a specific, there are specific orthodontic mouth guards that kind of fit over the braces gently. You want to get that. Shock Doc Ortho version is a good one too. Tooth grinders, okay? If you're a person that just grinds your teeth a lot, that can loosen brackets. So here's a little trick. This is an over-counter night guard that you can put in, and it fits over your braces. It won't interfere with your braces. You can slide and adjust it. They're very inexpensive and will keep you on track with your braces. So those are some ideas. I forgot to go over this. Let's talk about this for a second. We talked about avoiding popcorn and hard chips. Here's the substitute. Pirate's Booty is an example of something, a light puffed oven baked snack that has the taste of popcorn but doesn't have those hard kernels. And there's nowadays there's just lots of snacks like that. So just again, you want to go with light baked, soft, nothing hard in it, and you can still enjoy a snack. Potato chips are not going to do what pita chips and hard chips like that. So you're going to be safe with that. Okay, drink lots of water, enjoy your stuff, use your toothbrush, and looking forward to you getting that great Kineret Orthodontics smile.